Welcome to the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, episode number 119. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Will Rogers.
Broadcasting from the back alley in Hollywood, it's the Indie Film Hustle Podcast, where we show you how to survive and thrive as an indie filmmaker in the jungles of the film biz. And here's your host, Alex Ferrari.
Welcome, my Indie Film Hustlers, to another episode of the Indie Film Hustle Podcast. I am your humble host, Alex Ferrari. Now, today's show is sponsored by VideoBlocks. Now, VideoBlocks is a subscription-based stock media company that gives you unlimited access to premium stock footage everyone could afford. If you're looking for like extra exterior shots or things that you might want to incorporate into any of your projects, whether that be a narrative, documentary, music videos, commercials, these guys got you covered. They've got unlimited daily downloads from a library of over 115,000 HD video clips, as well as a huge selection of After Effects templates for like opening credits, motion graphics, titles, company logos, as well as motion backgrounds as well. It's pretty amazing. And on average, subscribers pay less than $1 per download in a course of a year. And the content does not get stale. They're constantly adding new content to the library every month. So it keeps it very, very fresh, and you always have something new to look forward to. And everything you download is 100% royalty free. Even if your subscription is canceled, you have unrestricted usage rights for anything you want to do, including personal projects and commercial projects, and you keep whatever you download and maintain the usage rights forever. Now, VideoBlocks is offering The Tribe a yearly subscription for $99. That's $50 off the usual price tag, just for you guys, just for The Tribe. That's less than $10 a month. So to get this deal, just head over to videoblocks.com/hustle. That's VideoBlocks, VIDEO blocks.com/hustle for this exclusive offer. And don't forget to go to freefilmbook.com. That's freefilmbook.com to download your free filmmaking audiobooks from Audible. So guys, I guess the Ask Alex segment is very popular because I got inundated with questions from the tribe. And I guess you guys want me to answer some questions for you. So we'll start doing these Ask Alexes every once in a while when I don't have another topic to talk about. You guys are definitely inspiring me to create more content and answer more of your questions. But I'm here to help, guys. So let's get into the first question. And these questions are from Jake in Australia. Now, I'm not going to do a horrible Crocodile Dundee impression here. So let's just move on. First question is, what happens if I'm shooting guerrilla style, which is the only way I like to shoot, and accidentally catch a sign in the background, or someone's wearing a branded logo in the shot? This is a very common question. I get this asked a lot. And a lot of people are still confused about what the legalities of things are. This is my feeling on this, guys. And I've gone through this. I'm going through this right now with Meg. I'm very conscious, of shooting when we're shooting, to make sure we kind of black out logos, or we like to call it Greeking out. When you Greek out a logo or a license plate or something like that you don't need to be in the shot, you could do it. If you could do it practically on set, great. I have VFX guys that are going to be able to clean things up for me. So if I know I can't do anything about it or something snuck in, I'll do it. It's a really kind of, you dance the subject, because look, there was a guy who made a movie kind of like guerrilla style in Disney World, which was a completely depraved movie about Disney World, a guy losing his mind in Disney World. And he obviously did not have any rights to Mickey, to Donald, to all the copyright infringement running around there. They were on private property. It was a nightmare. But that movie got released. How they got it released, I really don't know. And I would not advise something like that. But with that said, general rule of thought, and again, this is not legal advice. Please search out an attorney and ask a proper attorney for legal advice. This is just my opinion from my experience. But when in doubt, don't show it. Don't put a poster up on the wall. Don't put, don't catch, if you catch a logo on the street, if you're outside on the street and you see a logo on the store or something like that, if it's a brand name, big store, God, it's a weird thing. I've seen movies that leave it in, no problems, and they pass E&O insurance, which that's the next question I'll get into. And then sometimes they need to get cleaned out. It's fairly inexpensive to get that stuff painted out, depending on the shot, obviously, painted out in visual effects. But when it all said and done, guys, always side on the shot on the side of being cautious, and do not shoot it if you can help it. So if you happen to catch a shot or something like that of a logo, if it's in the background and your movie's costing $10,000, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna come after you for that. Now if you're pissing on a Mickey Mouse in your scene, or created a bong out of an old Donald Duck doll, not so much. But if it's something in the background, look, you got to look at a movie like Clerks. It was shot in a convenience store with logos from movies all over the place. That got released. So you have to really go after. You've really got to talk to an attorney and be very specific about it. I talked to another friend of mine today, actually, about this. And she made a movie, and she had tons of logos all over the movie. And the distributor told her, as long as you're not doing anything specific with it, and it's in the background, it's okay. I'm not from that school of thought. I always like to just make things as clean as possible. So right now we're actually going through the VFX process of cleaning up logos on shirts and in backgrounds, things that I knew were there that we just could not get rid of, some stuff that we didn't know that was there, and we're fixing it in post. But I have that capability. It's very affordable for me to do so. But I would just lean on the side of just don't do it. Okay. Second, what is E&O Insurance exactly? How does it work? And where are the best deals? Well, Jake, E&O Insurance stands for Errors and Omissions Insurance. You will not get a distribution deal or from a real distributor without E&O Insurance in today's world. E&O Insurance is basically just that. Let's say that you happen to piss on a Mickey in the middle of the movie. For whatever reason, you're pissing on Mickey. I love Mickey. I'm just using him as an example because he's a corporate logo that we all know and it's copyright trademark. So you're pissing on Mickey in the scene, and nobody notices that you pissed on Mickey. They thought it was some sort of rag doll. Well, let's say you get that thing distributed, and let's say Warner Brothers picks it up, and Warner Brothers releases it theatrically around the world. And all of a sudden, someone from the Walt Disney Company says, "Hey, you are pissing all over Mickey. What the hell? We're suing." Well, because you didn't, and then let's say you did not have E&O Insurance, Warner Brothers would never get a movie without E&O Insurance. But I'm just using it as an example. If you release a movie without E&O Insurance and someone wants to sue you for something, whether that be a logo in the movie, whether that be you infringed on some sort of trademark, something along those lines, without E&O Insurance, you are screwed. That means they're going to take everything you've got as far as the company that you've opened up for the movie, and they're going to sue you. If you have E&O Insurance, E&O Insurance will take care of that. But E&O Insurance, to get E&O Insurance, you best believe that they will be going up the butt of your movie and making sure there is no issues. Because it's on their ass if something does happen. So they're going to make sure that everything is clean and kosher and we're good. So sometimes it does slip through E&O Insurance, but generally speaking, you don't have to worry about it if you get E&O Insurance, but you will need E&O Insurance. Where you can get the best deals. Here in the States, I've seen it go up to $10,000. I've seen them as cheap as $2,500 for an E&O policy for a feature film. So that's generally the range you're going to be going for. I've even heard some people like $1,600, but you're going to be in around $2,000 range, $2,000 to $4,000 range for E&O Insurance. Do not purchase that insurance until you have a deal, until you have a distribution deal. Do not do that unless you're going to be distributing it or making money with your movie, but do not spend that money until you have to get it. Next, the question is, what do you do if you want to use licensed music in your feature film? Now, this is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of filmmakers make in regards to music and not having the proper clearances and contracts and agreements in place for music. I know a lot of people like to put whatever type of music they want in the movie. They'll go to iTunes, download their favorite song, put it in the movie, and send it out to festivals. And maybe it'll go into festivals and no one will care. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. And now back to the show. The realities of this is that if you use copyrighted music that is not yours and you do not have a release for it or an agreement for it, you are in trouble and they can sue you. In this lovely world of lawsuits left and right, they can sue you. So if you're going to use any sort of licensed music, you need to have an agreement in place first. Do not, and I repeat, do not just get festival rights, please. That's one of the biggest mistakes people do. A lot of filmmakers will just go, oh, I'm going to get this really big song and I'm just going to get festival rights for it. I'm just going to pay for festival rights. Well, guess what, guys? If you pay for festival rights, and let's say you use a Bruce Springsteen song or a Lady Gaga song, and for whatever reason, Gaga loved your movie and she's going to give you festival rights for the movie. Well, great. That's wonderful. And let's say now you get a distribution deal. Well, your rights only are for festivals. So now you want to go worldwide distribution. Well, guess what? That's going to cost an arm and a leg. It could cost $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million. It all depends on the kind of song you're using. So if you only have festival rights, that pretty much will kill your deal with the distributor. It's dead. Let's even go lower end. It's not something as big as Gaga, but let's say you pay $10,000 or $15,000 for festival rights, and someone you get a theatrical run, and the musician or the copyright owner of that song will say, well, if you want, worldwide rights, they just break the rights down to theatrical rights, VOD rights, DVD rights, international rights, all that. They'll just break it all down. So let's say, if you want worldwide rights for the movie, then you will have to spend $100,000. And that's not crazy number. I mean, it is crazy for an independent filmmaker, but that's the kind of numbers you will get with these bigger songs or licensed music. So you got to be very careful. So one big tip, if you're going to use licensed music, use it, but make sure you pay for rights all the way through before you ever get it to a festival. My idea is this, guys. My suggestion, is this. There are many, many, many composers out there who are very willing to work with independent filmmakers to get their music on feature films. Same thing goes for bands, singers. All of these people want to get their music out there. So there's a lot of times you will get really great music for free. You don't even have to pay them because they want the exposure. Depending on the level of your movie, they might just want to hey, I just want to have my song on there. Give me $50, give me $100, and you got the rights to it. And so on and so forth. And that does work, guys. And I've done that on many projects of mine in the past. So you can work with composers and make sure you get the rights, and you get paid for, you pay them for original music. Work with bands, work with singers, work with artists directly, and make sure you get all the rights that you need all the way through. And the last question is about copyright. How to copyright your material, your script, your movie, and what you need to do that. Well, first things first, guys, and I'm going to only talk about the States here in the U.S. because that's all I know, but you can use this equivalent in whichever country you are in. Generally speaking, once you have a movie done, you should have the movie copyrighted. First of all, if you have a script, you got to copyright the script. Now, I know a lot of people here say, oh, you got to send it to the WGA and get it registered at WGA. That doesn't mean anything. The WGA is very nice. It's very cute. It's very cool. You're throwing away $25 or $50 or whatever they charge nowadays. The only one that really matters is the one in Washington. So it's, I think, $35 to get yourself copyrighted. You could do it on the website. It's very, very simple. You get your stuff copyrighted right through there. You got your script copyrighted. Now you can use a company to have the copyright, or you could do it for yourself. But eventually you will have to go to an LLC that will be running your movie. I'll talk about the LLC in a second because I think a lot of you might not know what I'm talking about. But so you copyright your script, and then when the movie is done, you copyright the movie because that's the only way you can protect your movie. And if you don't do that, you leave yourself open to all sorts of things if you do not copyright your movie. Now, what are the chances of someone stealing your movie after the movie's been made? It's rare, but it does happen. I mean, a movie called It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart, which is a Christmas classic. was out of copyright. They forgot the copyright, and it fell into public domain, and everybody and their mother could just copy it and sell it however they want. Same thing would happen with Night of the Living Dead, George Romero's classic about zombies. No one copyrighted it. So right now, if I want to, I can get a copy of George Romero's Night of the Living Dead and release it myself and call it the Indie Film Hustle Indie Film Hustle presents Night of the Living Dead. And I can sell Blu-rays, DVDs, sell it wherever the heck I want to. Unfortunately, so is everybody else. But that is the problem. That was what happened with that movie. So make sure you copyright your stuff. And finally, this is a bonus question that James did not ask me, but it kind of leans into it. LLC. You need to have an LLC or a company, a limited liability company, for your movie. Every movie that you create, you should do a company, because if you do it personally, you're completely exposing yourself to any issues that movie might incur, any problems, any lawsuits, any attacks, anything like that will come after you. Any liens will come after you personally. You do not want to do that. So let's say you have your own personal company, production company, or so on. Well, you should not use your personal company for that project or for many projects, because again, if something happens with that project legally or financially, or something happens, someone slips and falls on the set, they're going to sue that company, the company that's associated with that movie, and then you can lose your company. You can have problems with your company. That's why you have to open up a specific company per project. I would not say that for short films, but for feature films, absolutely. And you have to make it a limited liability company. Something very simple that you can do throughout whichever state you live in the U.S. If you're overseas somewhere, you should have some sort of company. If it's not, I'm sure limited liability companies are not everywhere. So depending on what country you live in, you have to have a company, something that can protect you, a barrier between you and for the project, between you and the project. So if something happens, it stops at the company. It's something very simple to do. And a lot of filmmakers don't do it, and that is a huge mistake. So that is my advice on that, guys. Thank you for these great questions, Jake. I really appreciate it. I've got weeks of questions lined up coming up in the coming months ahead. So I'm going to try not to do this every week unless you guys want me to, and I will be more than happy to do so. But I'll be doing other episodes as well. So obviously my interviews, got some really cool interviews coming up. Really got some cool stuff about Sundance coming up. We didn't get in. I know. I forgot I was gonna tell you guys this. This is Meg did not get into this. Did not get into Sundance. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? It's okay. I submitted it like everybody else did, and you just take a shot in the dark. Sundance is one of those things that you always submit, just to give it a shot. You never know what happens. I've told you before, I've been involved with projects that did get in and they were a complete shot in the dark. So it happens. I'm not worried about it. I've got many other festivals lined up, and hopefully we'll get into some other festivals. But, I didn't get bummed out. So I was kind of expecting not to get in. But hey, so we did not officially get into Sundance, guys. It's okay. We'll survive. But we do have a bunch of other cool stuff coming up that we will be at Sundance. And again, if you guys are going to be at Sundance, I'm going to be there too. And we got to get something together and see if we could all hang out at a bar or something and network and do all sorts of cool stuff. And we're going to be doing some events there as well. I'm going to be doing a panel there, just kind of getting everything finalized. But I will be doing a panel at Slam Dance actually this year. And we will be talking more about that in the next few weeks. As soon as I get something locked in, dates and times, I will let you know, guys. I'm very, very excited about it. But we do have a lot of cool interviews coming out in the coming weeks. And again, guys, thank you so much for doing everything you guys do, man. You guys inspire me. I get so many emails from you guys every week, every day actually, telling me your stories. And I really, with all my heart, I really appreciate all of the well wishes about Meg and the thanks that you guys continuously give me for what I'm doing here with the podcast and with Indie Film Hustle. But I do it for you guys, man. You got to lead with giving. You got to lead with a sense of abundance. You can't live in a mentality of I don't have enough. That's why I want to give as much as I can to you guys. I want to give as much free information as I can. And I want to just give and help as much as I can to you guys. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. And now back to the show. And you guys are so cool, and I'm so thankful to have you guys all as part of the Indie Film Hustle tribe. And thank you so much again. And I do have more news coming up, and I'll wait till probably towards the end of the year about what I'm doing next year. And it's going to be one hell of a year. If 2016 was amazing for Indie Film Hustle and for myself, shooting my first feature film, Indie Film Hustle kind of blowing up, the podcast growing at levels that I was not expecting it to, 2017 is going to make 2016 look like it was 1987. Anyway, guys, don't forget to head over to filmmakingpodcast.com. That is filmmakingpodcast.com. And leave me a good review, please. I really would appreciate it. It helps the show out a lot and helps me get it out to more and more filmmakers. And please spread the word, guys. Spread the word. Email people. Share my stuff when we put it out there. Share the stuff, the posts and things like that. Get the word out there with as many of your friends and filmmakers as you can, because I really want to help as many filmmakers as I can. I really want to see all you guys succeed and give you the real skinny on what the hell is going on in this business, which is changing on a daily basis. So also, if you want the show notes, head over to indiefilmhustle.com/119. That's indiefilmhustle.com/119 to check out download the episode and check out the show notes. So as always, keep that hustle going. Keep that dream alive. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Indie Film Hustle podcast at indiefilmhustle.com. That's INDIEFILMHUSTLE.com.